improving sexual performance as we age. Hey there, everybody. Thank you for watching this video. So there are a lot of people that struggle with sexual performance across all age groups. However, let me just say, it doesn't get any easier as we age. So many of the things that I'm going to talk about in this video will apply regardless of what age you are. Even if you're rather young, these things will still help you improve your sexual performance. But as you get older, these things will be even more important to not only maintaining your sexual performance, but improving your sexual performance. So I have a list of things that are key to making sure that you can continue to have the sex life that you want to have regardless of how old you are. But before we dive in, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Doing those things really helps my channel. As I've mentioned in many videos before, my content is heavily suppressed here on this channel. So when you like a video, when you share it, when you subscribe to the channel, those things tell the algorithm that people want to see these videos. Therefore, it helps defeat that censorship. So please, if you like this content, do those things. It would really help not only me as a channel, but anybody else that's looking for this information. I am Kevin Anthony, and I'm a certified sexologist, Tantra Counselor, NLP Practitioner, and sex, love, and relationship coach. And for over a decade, I have been helping men, women, and couples have the relationship of their dreams and the best sex of their lives. And since my mission is to make sure that you have the relationship of your dreams and the best sex of your life, you're not going to have that if you don't actually meet somebody, right? So if you're not currently in a relationship and you want to be in one so that you can have the relationship of your dreams and the best sex of your life, then you might need some help. And that's why I am excited to welcome this video's sponsor. This video's sponsor is the Wing Girl Method, right? Founded by renowned dating expert and fellow YouTuber Marnie, your personal wing girl, whose channel has grown to over 1.4 million subscribers, as well as being featured on MTV, Dr. Drew, Ask Men, and Penthouse. Her goal is to help improve the dating lives of men. I have to tell you personally, both my wife Celine and I followed Marnie's work for a long time, long before they were ever a sponsor here. We followed her on YouTube, and we thought that her work was really great, what she was doing. I have since had an opportunity to sort of meet her in person through a group that we're involved in. And, you know, I think what she's doing is really great. So I'm excited to have this sponsor for my video. So let's be honest, guys. Most of you suck at flirting. And that's where Marnie comes in. She has helped thousands of men transform their dating lives with her science-backed flirting method, the F formula, which has been used by tens of thousands of men worldwide. This proven system helps you attract the woman that you want and build your confidence. This isn't for guys who are content with being alone forever. It's for those ready to break free from their flirting failures and finally date the woman they deserve. If you're not taking action now, you're just setting yourself up to be left behind while others grab the opportunities you're too scared to go after. Even if you think a girl is out of your league or not interested, this step-by-step formula can change that. It shows you exactly how to make any woman eager to escalate with you, date you, sleep with you, and be with you. No need to look like a model or have millions in your bank account. With the F formula, those things aren't necessary. Apply this method and you'll start seeing results immediately. Why trust Marnie's F formula? Because over 100,000 men have already experienced life-changing results. This is your chance to date like the top 10% of men. And because the Wing Girl Method is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an unbeatable deal. Just click the first link in the description now to grab your exclusive preview of the F Formula completely free. Plus, if you decide to pick up the full program, you'll get an extra 20% off. If you're tired of failing at flirting and being stuck on the sidelines, stop wasting time. Take control of your dating life, click the link below, and get access right away. And then, once you meet that person and you're ready to start having the relationship of your dreams and the best sex of your life, that's when you come back over here to me. All right, let's just dive right into the content. Sex is a physical act. It is a physical act, and whether you're a man or a woman, there are physical things that your body needs to be able to do in order to get ready for sex. If you're a woman, you need to lubricate. If you're a man, you need to get an erection, right? You need to hold yourself in certain positions. You need to be able to go for a certain amount of time. There are physical components to having great sex. And as you age, if you're not taking care of your physical body properly, you're going to struggle with all of those things. So the first section I want to talk about in this video are things that you can do to basically get your physical body in shape enough to have great sex. So here we go. Number one, obviously, physical exercise is a must. It is a must. And there are a number of reasons why that is. So think about the fact that you might need to hold your partner, right? Maybe you need to hold her up in a certain way, or maybe you need to hold yourself up in a certain position, right? There are things that are going to be difficult, positions that are going to be difficult for you to be in for long periods of time if your body isn't physically strong. For instance, the classic, if you're a man and you want to be in missionary position and you're holding yourself basically in a plank position for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes or more, that's going to be really difficult to do if your body isn't physically in shape to do it. Also, you need stamina. You need to be able to continue doing whatever it is that you're doing for a significant period of time. Now, if your idea of great sex is 5 to 7 minutes and you're out, all right, you may not need that much strength or stamina. But we know from the stats that's not enough for most women to consider sex even remotely good. So you're going to need to be able to last longer. So you need to have the stamina to be able to keep going. You're also going to need some flexibility. Let's be honest, some of those fun positions are not the easiest to get into. Or sometimes you get into them and they're not that easy to get out of. Those of you who are younger and watching this, if you are thinking, what is he talking about? Those of us that are a little older know exactly what I am talking about. So physical exercise and training is going to help you be stronger so you can hold the positions, so you can lift your partner, right? So you can move around. It's going to help you have the stamina to continue to keep going. And it's going to give you the flexibility to get into those positions that you used to get into when you were younger. Another added benefit of the strength and flexibility is that it's going to reduce the possibility of injuries. Now, I know pulling a muscle or, having some sort of an injury as a result of sex might make for a great story over a beer with your friends. Hey, Joe, why are you limping? Well, let me tell you, right? That may be fun, but it's not fun to actually deal with, especially if it prevents you from having the sex that you want to have. So, the stronger you are, the more flexible you are, the less likely you are to hurt yourself while having sex. Strength training will also stimulate the production of testosterone. And that, of course, is going to help your libido. It's also going to help your erections. So exercise has lots of benefits other than just getting you healthy. It's also going to make you hornier. Right? And that's true for both men and women because it's going to stimulate the production of testosterone. And yes, women do have testosterone also. It's also going to help stimulate your ability to achieve and maintain erections. All of that is necessary to have great sex. And the last point I want to make about physical exercise is that it's going to improve your cardiovascular system, right? So the more you exercise, the healthier your cardiovascular system is going to be. So one, that's going to help you with the stamina that we talked about earlier, but also your cardiovascular system is very important when it comes to, guess what? Getting an erection, keeping an erection. The healthier your cardiovascular system is, the chances are that you are going to have more frequent erections, stronger erections. They will last longer. So, if you've ever been to your doctor and you're older and he starts asking you the questions, and he wants to assess your risk for heart disease, one of the questions he's going to ask you is, do you get erections? And what is the quality of them, right? Because the inability to get an erection or having weak erections that don't last is actually a risk factor for heart disease. Why? Well, because it's all about blood flow. And blood flow to your penis is still part of the circulatory system. So exercising is actually going to help you if you are dealing with erection challenges. All right, the second major area when it comes to improving your sexual performance as you get older is diet. Diet is critically important. I know you don't want to hear this. Nobody ever wants to hear this. Nobody likes being told you got to clean up your diet if you want to be able to, lose pounds, be more attractive, get the girl or the guy, perform better in bed. But I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is you need to improve your diet if you want to continue to have great sex throughout the years. Number one, it's going to help you lose extra pounds, right? The less extra weight you're carrying, the easier it's going to be to hold yourself up in a position, or the easier it is to pick your partner up. The easier it is to get into certain positions, the more you're going to feel good about your body, right? So you're going to want to be naked more. You're going to want to, be seen by your partner more. You're just going to feel better about yourself altogether, and it's going to help your performance. Losing weight is also going to decrease your risk for heart disease, right? And we've already talked about the link between heart disease and erections. So cleaning up your diet is an important part. Cleaning up your diet's also going to give you more energy, which means you'll be able to have sex for longer. Imagine that. Cleaning up your diet could also help with testosterone production. A lot of times people don't realize that there are a lot of foods and things that aren't necessarily healthy for you to begin with that actually will increase your estrogen levels. And what that does is throw your estrogen to testosterone ratio out of balance. And this can be a problem for many reasons. However, if we know there's a link between testosterone and libido, then we know that we want to make sure that our testosterone levels are optimized. One way to do that is to cut out all those things that are flooding us with excess estrogens. I've talked about that in other videos before, what types of foods contain them. Remember, we have xenoestrogens, which are chemical estrogens, which are a problem. They mimic estrogen, but they're synthetic chemicals that you find in a lot of processed foods. You have the plant-based estrogens, right? The phytoestrogens, which are natural estrogenic-like substances that are contained in certain foods. The one that men never want to hear, but I always have to say that is highly estrogenic, is beer. If you're a big beer drinker, you are kicking the crap out of your testosterone, right? So you might want to think about that. You're also, of course, ingesting a lot of empty calories that are contributing to the beer belly. So, I hate to say it, guys, but if you want to be really good in bed, and if you want women to really desire you and want to be with you, you're gonna have to significantly cut back on the beer, if not cut it out altogether. It's not helping you. Trust me, it's not. And of course, that leads me into cleaning up your alcohol intake altogether. I was singling out beer there, but all alcohol can potentially contribute to performance problems down the road. Everything from, excess weight gain, to potential, cardiovascular problems. There's a lot of things that too much alcohol can really contribute to, and they're all going to negatively hurt your performance in the bedroom. All right, so far we have covered why it's important to exercise and how that can help your sexual performance. We've also talked about cleaning up your diet and how that will help your sexual performance. Two more things that are similar yet different that I want to make sure that I address is getting enough sleep. This is critically important. Sleep is the time that your body repairs all of the damage from our lifestyles. So if you are chronically sleep deprived, your body does not have an opportunity to repair properly. So if you want to perform at your best in the bedroom year after year after year, you need to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. And you want to make sure that you are staying hydrated. You need to make sure that you're drinking enough water throughout the day. Not soda, not alcohol, not these other things. You need to be drinking a decent amount of clean water. Water that's not loaded with a bunch of impurities, chemicals, stuff like that. Good, clean, pure water. Super important to a healthy, functioning system. And that brings me to the very last one for today, which is learning new skills. It does not matter how old you are. There are always new things that you can learn. And as you get older, you might have to learn some new things to accommodate for, the fact that maybe you're not as flexible as you used to be. Maybe your stamina isn't as good as it used to be. Learning new skills is essential. This is a big part of the work that I do, teaching both men and women how to have great sex. And you are never too young. Okay, that's not true. Sometimes you are too young. You have to at least be, a responsible adult to be learning these things. However, as long as you are, of age and above, then you're never too young. In other words, if you're 18 years old and you want to learn this stuff and be good at it, great. I highly suggest that you do that so that you can start off strong, knowing what you're doing and have great relationships and sex. But the same thing is true. You're never too old. I don't care if you're 75 years old and, maybe you've lost your partner and you're starting over, or maybe you've been with your partner for a long time and you just want to rekindle things or make them better. It's not too late to learn new skills, right? So watch all the videos on my channel that teach skills. Work with me as a coach or somebody else as a coach. Read books about it, right? Do whatever works for you to learn new things, to keep your sex life, fresh and exciting and, flowing and, keeping the two of you really connected through that sexual connection. So anytime is a good time to learn some new skills, right? And improve upon your sex. If you want to have great sex, you're going to have to learn how to do it because honestly, nobody taught us how to do it. And that is the truth of it. Nobody taught us what we actually need to know. So we have to go out there and learn it for ourselves. All right, there you go. That is a list of ways that you can continue to improve your sexual performance as you age. Remember, it's not a given that you will perform great in the bedroom your entire life. You have to actually work at it. You have to work at keeping your body healthy and fit. You have to work at keeping your skill set up and learning new skills. but anybody can do it as long as you make it a priority. And as always, if you want to know more about my work, please go to kevinanthonycoaching.com/link in bio. That is my link tree where you can find links to everything that I am doing. My coaching programs, my YouTube channel, my podcast, great products that I recommend, blog articles, and more. It is all right there.